My boss canceled my vacation while I was in Hawaii, so I let the servers die. My boss thought he could command me to fly back from my sister's wedding in Hawaii just because he forgot to hire a backup for the quarterly audit. He told me if I didn't show up on Monday, I wouldn't have a job to come back to. I told him okay, and I hung up. What he didn't realize was that okay didn't mean I was coming back. It meant I was accepting his termination. Since I was no longer an employee, I had no obligation to fix the massive system crash that happened 10 minutes later. By the time I landed back home, the company had lost $4 million, and my boss was begging for his own job. Here is how one emergency phone call destroyed a 20-year career. I worked as the senior database architect for a mid-sized logistics company. In plain English, I was the only person who knew how the tracking software actually functioned. I hadn't taken a day off in 2 years. When my sister announced her wedding in Maui, I put in my vacation request 6 months in advance. It was approved by the CEO himself. My direct manager, Bill, and was the kind of guy who loved to delegate, which is corporate speak for making everyone else do his work while he played golf. Bill knew I was leaving. He signed the paperwork. But in typical Bill fashion, he didn't bother training anyone else on the new security protocols I had implemented. He figured if something broke, he'd just call me and I'd fix it for free on my laptop while sitting on the beach. I was literally standing on the beach in my Hawaiian shirt, holding a drink when my phone started vibrating like a chainsaw. It was Bill. I ignored the first 5 calls. On the 6th call, I answered, thinking it was a family emergency. "Where are you?" Bill screamed. He didn't even say hello. "The audit team is here, and the main server is rejecting the admin keys. You need to be in the office in an hour." I laughed. I actually laughed. "Bill, I'm in Hawaii. I told you this 6 months ago." I laughed. I actually laughed. "Bill, I'm in Hawaii. I told you this 6 months ago. It's on the calendar." Bill's voice went cold. "I don't care where you are. Consider your vacation canceled. If you aren't at your desk by Monday morning, you're fired. You have 4 hours to get to the airport. Do your job or lose it." I realized then that Bill was never going to respect my time, so I took him at his word. I said, "If that's your final decision, Bill, then I guess I'm done." He thought I meant I was done arguing and was heading to the airport. What I actually meant was I was resigning, effective immediately. See, our system has an inactivity lock. If the lead architect, me, doesn't log in to verify the security certificates every 72 hours, the system assumes it's a cyber attack and shuts down the entire database. It's a safety feature. I was going to log in remotely to reset the timer, but since Bill just fired me, I no longer had legal authorization to touch company servers. Touching them would be a federal crime. So, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and went to the wedding. The system went dark at midnight. The audit failed. The company couldn't ship a single package for 3 days. They lost their biggest client, a $4 million a year contract. When I got home a week later, I had 150 unread emails. Most were from the CEO. It turns out Bill told the CEO I had abandoned my post, but I had the receipts. I had the approved vacation request and the recording of Bill firing me over the phone. The CEO called me personally. He offered me my job back with a 40% raise. I told him I'd come back as a contractor for double my old salary, but only if Bill was gone. Bill was escorted out of the building that afternoon by the same security team he tried to use on me. He's currently unemployed and facing a massive internal investigation for gross negligence. Bill tried to use fear to control me, but he ended up losing everything because he didn't understand how the system worked. What would you have done? Would you have flown back to save your job, or would you have let the servers die like I did? Let me know in the comments and hit that subscribe button for more stories from the archive.